all so much for being here. What an honor.
It is an honor and a privilege to be here, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. What's up?
Okay. And we got quite a crew. You mentioned it. Kimberly A. Martin,
hello,
looking fabulous per usual. That's right. Damian Woody, Super Bowl champ in the building.
Yeah.
And then also we have Chiney Ogwumike coming by and Monica McNutt. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Oh, did I mention Caleb Williams? DJ Moore?
Who else?
And Chance the Rapper. So we got you covered here in Chicago. How's everybody feeling? Thanks for coming off vacation.
Yeah, I came from vacation. You know what? I was on vacation. But,
Yeah.
you know, y'all are more important than a vacation. So I came out here, you know. And damn it, it means a lot because I was having a good time. But I'm here.
Absolutely. All right, let's have some fun. You guys want to talk some football?
Let's do it.
All right, let's kick it off. So the NFL is back. The Bears won a weather-shortened Hall of Fame game over the Texans last night, 21-17. Neither Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud or Bears rookie quarterback Caleb Williams played. Again, they're going to be here live with us. But Dan Orlovsky says that any comparisons between the two would not be fair.
C.J. Stroud had arguably the greatest season in the history of a rookie quarterback in our league. That's with Peyton Manning, that's with Andrew Luck. But to sit there and think, oh my gosh, he's going to break C.J. Stroud's record from what he did last year, we're setting this young man up to be a failure in people's eyes, and that's not fair.
All right, let's be honest. C.J. Stroud took the league by storm. Arguably one of the most exciting players last season. Do you think it's even fair to put that pressure on Caleb Williams and compare the two? Stephen A.
You're damn right it is. I don't have a problem with that. Can you ball or can you not ball? Last time I checked, he's the #1 overall pick. Caleb Williams is a special talent. We saw what he did, 30 touchdowns, like 10 interceptions, back-to-back seasons. Only Patrick Mahomes did that in FBS history. So you got to look at it from that standpoint. You also got to take into account this. Look at the weapons that C.J. Stroud walked into Houston with. We didn't know what the weapons were. We had no idea. And then we saw this brother ball, and all of a sudden, we looked at the parts around him and said, they can really, really play. They really can. But when you've got an elite quarterback throwing you the football, you tend to look better. Well, what does Caleb Williams have? He didn't come here as the #1 overall pick, and the Chicago Bears left him bereft of talent. You got DJ Moore in the house. You got Keenan Allen in the house. You drafted the Dunzo, okay? You kept your head coach and placed your defense as a top 12, top 13 defense. You look at the parts that he has around him. It's nothing to sneeze at. Now, certainly, I don't believe that, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings here. I don't think y'all going to be better than Detroit or Green Bay. But the fact of the matter is, just a couple of years ago, you were like 3-14. Last year, you won 7 games. There's been improvement. There's been elevation without Caleb Williams. So if Caleb Williams is half of what we think he has the potential to be, there's no reason not to look at the Chicago Bears and say, yo, they could do a few things here. Let's see what happens.
I'm disappointed in you.
What's new? What's new? What's new, Kimberly? What's new?
Because a year ago, was Stephen A. talking about, oh, C.J. Stroud needs to be the #1 pick? Or was everybody happy with Bryce Young? Everybody thought Bryce Young was the guy that should be the #1 pick.
There was a debate between him and C.J. Stroud at the time because Carolina was thinking that they were vacillating back and forth.
Stephen.
Yes.
Everybody had high expectations for Bryce Young.
Yes.
We thought he's going to the best situation with that coaching staff. He is set up for success. And what we saw was the complete opposite.
Right.
So and then C.J. Stroud comes on, and everybody's like, oh, this C.J. Stroud, he's a marvel. Where did this come from? He was that dude, but a lot of people thought he shouldn't have been the #1 pick. A lot of people were picking Bryce Young. So when we do these comparisons, it is not fair. And the reason I'm disappointed is because you have me on the Chicago Morning agreeing with Dan Orlovsky. It is not fair.
Right.
Because these are two different individuals, and when we look at these young men, when we look at them, it is not just their talent that predicts their future.
Right.
It is the head coach. It's the OC, it's the players, and it is injuries. So when you have a guy like Caleb Williams, who's picked apart during the pre-draft process, and now he's the #1 pick, we are literally doing what we did to Bryce Young and saying, okay, you're the #1 pick, go out there and ball. It's not that simple.
Do you understand that the minute you said you're agreeing with Dan Orlovsky, you automatically lost the debate?
No, I did not.
You automatically lost the debate.
That's why I'm disappointed because I thought
Dan Orlovsky is usually wrong. You know what I'm saying?
He's not wrong here. He's not
and all
wrong
of this
here.
other stuff. He's automatically wrong.
He's not wrong here.
Okay.
And history should give us pause because we compared Bryce and CJ last year, and a lot of people were wrong.
Right.
I thought Bryce should have been the #1 pick. I'm not doubting Bryce. I think he has talent. But a lot of us didn't see C.J. Stroud. We didn't think he would have that season. And to compare one of the best rookie seasons ever and say, okay, that's the standard, y'all got to live up to it, not accounting for all the variables, that is not right.
All right, what does the Super Bowl champ think?
Come on.
Fair or unfair, I don't give a damn. All we do is compare.
Right.
We compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan.
That's right.
We do. This is what we do. This is the business that we are in. We've been talking about Caleb Williams since his freshman year at Oklahoma.
Right.
This dude has been a superstar ever since he stepped on the collegiate scene. Okay? Then he transferred over to USC, did the same thing.
Right.
Now he comes in the National Football League. And may I remind people, the Chicago Bears weren't the worst team in the league. That came about from a trade with the Carolina Panthers. Okay, so he wasn't, like you talked about, Stephen A., he wasn't going to a situation where it was just no talent at all. The Chicago Bears had players. Last year, their defense in the second half of the season, they had the #1 defense. And oh, by the way, they traded for Montez Sweat. They traded for DJ Moore. Then they traded for Keenan Allen. Get Rome Odunze this year. And you mean to tell me that Kimberly, you mean to tell me that I shouldn't compare Caleb Williams to C.J. Stroud? Yes, C.J. Stroud had the best rookie season in NFL history. But I'm sorry, when you come in with all this hype,
Woody.
damn it, that's all I'm going to do.
Wait, hold on. I said what I said. So yes, I did just say that. Because when you look at the Chicago Bears this offseason, a lot of people didn't think that head coach would survive. A lot of people are thinking, yeah, they got it. I don't know about Eberflus. I don't know.
But he survived because of what they did in the second half of last season. Okay, so let's not get off track here, bringing up,
because what we're looking at, Damian, what we're talking about is a Chicago Bears organization that has not shown that they can develop a quarterback in a very long time. A very long time, correct?
Well, you could say they haven't shown they can't develop a quarterback. I would say they haven't shown they've had a quarterback, and that's the reality of the situation. Let's call it what it is. I believe in Justin Fields. I think that he'll do a good job in Pittsburgh, and you can make the argument that the coaching staff and the organization didn't put him in the greatest position. I understand that. But the reality is that Justin Fields was never hyped as much as Caleb Williams has been hyped. We do see prodigies coming out of collegiate football, and we say to themselves, there's something about this brother that is different. That's what we've been saying about Caleb Williams. Then we got to take into account, who do you have to throw the ball to? I gave you 3 wide receivers. Now, you brought up Bryce Young. You know why we haven't crucified, even though we've lamented what we've seen from Bryce Young? You know why we haven't crucified him? His rookie coach, Frank Reich, was fired halfway through the season, okay? The organization led by that owner has been atrocious thus far. So you're looking at all of that. You're not saying that about the Chicago Bears team. So you see the personnel they have accumulated. You're a rookie receiver, and you've got guys, DJ Moore, who will be on the show later. We know he can ball. Keenan Allen, we know he can ball. Odunze, you know what they were saying about him and what he can do. So I've got not 1, not 2, but 3 primary big-time targets to throw the football to, and I'm perceived as somebody who can throw the damn football. Why shouldn't I have expectations?
Why can't that just be enough, though? Why can't it just be enough? Why does it have to be compared to C.J.?
Because C.J. set the bar. So here's my question. Who walked into the better situation?
See, nobody was saying that C.J. Stroud.
But I'm saying, who walked into the better situation? Is it C.J. Stroud going to Houston, or is it Caleb now going to Chicago?
By far, it's Caleb. By far.
So I'm saying, why can't we hold him to that point? Why can't we hold him to that point?
Because you know what? Because
it's the truth. It's the truth, Kimberly.
It's not the truth, because I'm bringing perspective, and I'm trying to bring. I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to keep it.
You remember my boy from California, my man Jeff Brown. What did he say? Fair is a place where they judge pigs. It doesn't exist. We all know this. But the problem is, every time Kimberly comes on the air, is astute and as brilliant as she is in covering the National Football League, her problem is that she brings fairness into the equation as if it's a part of it. If we cared about fairness, we wouldn't be talking about the NFL. The NFL is religiously unfair, one time after another. You see one player, he balls out 1 year. He has a couple of bad weeks. They're ready to renegotiate his contract, cut his salary. You know, they do all types of stuff. I understand that.
I would just bring up one name, Jaden Daniels. Because, yes, I expect Caleb to have a good season. Right. But what if we're talking about Jaden Daniels?
I'm not talking about him.
I'm saying, what if by the end of the season, He is in a better. I think he's in a great situation in Washington.
If Dan Quinn can coach.
That is just your Cowboys bias.
Last time I checked, we talking about the Commanders. We ain't talking about the Cowboys. We ain't talking about the Cowboys. We ain't no black cat running around this morning. We understand who the Cowboys are. For all you Cowboy fans in here, y'all gonna stink this year too. You're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. But I'm just saying, when you look at Jayden Daniels, the bottom line is this: you got a new situation, new ownership in D.C. You got a new coaching staff, et cetera, et cetera. You look at Caleb. That's not the situation in Chicago. They've got some continuity there. They kept their coach. I had questions about them keeping.
So what should the expectations be for Caleb Williams? We know the NFC North is really tough.
If you won 7 games last year without him, why can't you win 10 games this year with the personnel that you've upgraded? How come I'm not even talking playoffs. How come you can't give me a 10-7 season?
That's different. That's different.
But no, here's the thing.
Compare him to CJ. That's different. That is different.
Well,
you traded away Justin Fields because you thought that young man was that much more of an upgrade.
That's right.
So why can't we have the expectation that this man's going to go out and have a similar type season as C.J. Stroud? We was hyping up Justin Fields when Justin Fields came into the National Football League.
When you can throw the football, the number one thing I'm looking for are the weapons around you. If you can throw the football, you shouldn't have a problem if you Caleb Williams with the personnel that they have in place. And I believe in the brother. I think he's going to do big things.
Yes.
I really, really do. And I'm not going to cut him short by saying, you know what, I mean, C.J. Stroud did this in Houston, and that's a little bit too much to ask.
What's all that?
Because I'm saying, well, don't get me started. You and the fingernails. Don't get me started. The point that I'm trying to make to you is I don't think that there's any problem looking at you and saying, okay, what you going to do? If they gave you the weapons, if they didn't give him the weapons, that would be different. But they brought in weapons. He's got 3 primary targets.
The question is not, is he going to be successful? Is he going to win more games than they won last year? The question was, is it fair to compare him to C.J. Stroud's historic rookie season? And that's what is unfair.
And I'm saying to you, in Chicago, the only argument you can make in favor of that not being a fair expectation, it does get cold. It does get cold. It does get windy in this city. And you know, come November and December, it might be hazardous to throw the damn football. Whereas in Houston, the weather's better and you got a dome and all of that other stuff. So it's a bit different. I got that. That's the only argument. If the weather is nice enough for you to fling that football with the weapons he has, Caleb's going to be on the show later. I want no excuses. Yeah.